All right, guys, strap in. It's going to be a long one. I'm sorry. There's no way to get around it. There's a lot to go through. So basically, I moved furniture. Furniture movers are all independent contractors. And that's a very unique category because there are employee movers, but it's not common. The reason why is because of insurance. It's a dangerous job where you get hurt quite often. The problem arose when you have contractors who drive company trucks. So, long story short, there are a lot of rules and stuff that goes along with driving your own vehicle and being an employee or a contractor. And also driving a company vehicle and being a contractor or an employee. So, and like I said, a lot of it's got to do with insurance reasons and liabilities. Anytime you accept money to go over the public roadway, you are considered a commercial vehicle. And there's a lot of rules that go along with commercial vehicles, the drivers, the insurance. As a matter of fact, just being delivery drivers, you are supposed to have courier's insurance. In the case of Uber Eats, they actually cover that for you if you opt into it. If you get stopped, you're on your own because you're an independent contractor. You're not an employee. You're not driving a company vehicle. So, you can be a contractor and have all the legal things, which I watched another DoorDash or delivery courier content creator on YouTube, which is well aware of this. He talks about trying to get your motor carrier number, and also your USDOT. There's a lot of stuff that goes with the USDOT. You have to have a health card. If you're going to be going over state lines, like if you live in a border town, there's actually rules on how many miles you can go into the next state. There's also permits for each state. When you conduct commerce, in each state, the company has to have permission from the state to do business in their state. That's all a result of the railroad business. Early in this country, the railroad was the first regulated industry that crossed state lines, and because of those rules, there were laws put into place where you used to have to get an interstate commerce number, which gave you permission in each state. And some states you actually had to buy an additional permit, such as New Mexico. I gained a CDL partway through my moving career. And when you have a CDL and you're driving somebody else's truck, you have to have authority to drive that truck under the company's name, which carries the DOT number. If you have your own, well, then it's your own vehicle. But you have to do a lease to where the company leases. In other words, you have to become a company and you have to lease your vehicle to yourself. Owner-operators of big rigs, they know all about this stuff. You have to have a permit book. And in this permit book is all your different permits. and also your authority to operate in each state. So DoorDash, Uber Eats, and all this, they've been fighting the taxi cab companies in New York for quite a while for over these same rules. Again, there's a lot of hoops to jump through, and we've made it this way to keep fly-by-night companies, from coming up. There is a way to do it. It's very lengthy, it's very expensive, but if Uber or DoorDash was to become employees, they would have to provide you with a vehicle. And they would also have to have all kinds of insurances that they don't have. It would be such a burden to them. They're already not a profitable company. It's not going to happen. They're going to skate the line. And because I've been a mover for so long, I know a lot of companies who skate the line. Basically, most companies operate illegally until they get caught, they get dragged into court, and they have to comply. That's the way companies usually are built. The thought is once a company gets so big that it can't be shut down, then regulators will make allowances, which is exactly what has happened with Uber, and we could say Uber Eats, DoorDash. It would be almost impossible for regulators to shut them down, even though they are breaking all the rules, which makes legitimate delivery companies suffer. But hey, catering companies, they're suffering because of Uber Eats and DoorDash, because now everybody's a caterer. This is the truth of the matter. It is what it is. There's a lot of rules that Uber and DoorDash and Instacart, if regulators stopped and took a look at what they were actually doing, the gig economy would shut down overnight. But it's already too big for that. From coast to coast, people order stuff online and we deliver it. There's no way they can shut that down. There's no way we could become employees because of all the rules and regulations that DoorDash and them, they would have to come up with a fleet of vehicles overnight. It's not going to happen. So there's no reason in freaking out about articles like this. So because you're operating on the road, the public roadway, and you're doing it for money, it's easier for them to keep you as contractors. Because if anybody gets in trouble, if your vehicle runs into another vehicle or you go on a rage and just start running into cars, they're going to hold you accountable, and only you. They're not going to hold DoorDash and Uber Eats. It's too much of a liability. This is why you're never going to be an employee. Sorry. And if it does, and I could be wrong, and if I missed any facts or you think I've got anything wrong, again, this is almost 20 some odd years of experience of dealing in these type of industries, dealing with transportation. So leave a comment down below. If you like this video, like it, subscribe. This is a new channel. This is where we're at. It's not going to happen.